Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Armageddons, Magnus? Do you think all the flagging gives the tournament a bad name, or you think it's fine?
No, it's okay. If we didn't have the Armageddon, that would we're already playing 9 days in a row, so it would be pretty rough. But I think it's okay. I understand it's not what people come to see, but I don't particularly mind it. Wow. This was a nice flagging exhibition, though.
Yeah. Absolutely
Flawless.
inexorable. Yeah? It's just,
Is he winning?
I don't think it matters, but he probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not close, I have to say. I mean, Peter had no chance at the end.
Good job by Jan Nepomniachtchi, who, like Magnus, has won all his matches so far. And we will hand over to Tanya to quiz Magnus about his match today. Our boy Peter put up a fight, no, Magnus?
Yeah. Obviously, I should have won at least one of the first 2 games. But he fought well with his back against the wall and made it difficult for me. So it wasn't easy by any means.
Magnus, congratulations. Before we get to the games, I should ask you this. I think this is a question which a lot of people feel strongly about. 7 out of 7, brilliant score, 100%. How are you so good at this? I mean, I don't know what's a better way to ask this question, but what do you think is the one overreaching factor that's helping you here?
I honestly don't know. I mean, it's a difficult question to answer, and I think realistically, me talking too much about it would just sound a bit weird. So, all I can say is that I don't have like obvious weaknesses in my play that they can try and exploit. I think my time expenditure is decent enough, but yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, you said that your time expenditure and time has been a big factor here in this event. And like you and Jan, we're also discussing about the Armageddon format. According to you, what do you think in this tournament plays a bigger role, the quality of the games or a control on the clock?
Well, I think in general in the rapid games, 10 seconds is such a big increment that it's all about the quality, really. But then, of course, when it comes to the Armageddon games, those are a different beast entirely, and there you desperately need to be able to move the pieces very fast.
And Magnus, do you think that's somewhere where the practice with online chess is something that's perhaps more in favor of the Chessable semi-finalists who've qualified rather than the legends in the event?
Oh yeah, I think that's obvious, and I can also see that the sort of the younger of the legends are also doing better in the Armageddon games. So there's no doubt about that.
Okay, because Armageddon is such a difficult format to play, and I mean, I know I'm going on about this, but just you're very good at Armageddon. What is the improvement? How do you get better at it? Is it something that you just practice, get faster at? Because it feels like with Armageddon, it's really all about just the clock situation. So how does one even work on it?
To tell you the truth, I don't think I'm that great at Armageddons. I mean, in this tournament, I've only played one, and it didn't go that well. I don't particularly like the Armageddons because usually that's a sign that things have gone wrong for me. earlier. Like, I don't want to get to the Armageddon. I want to have
You're
a
not
clean.
alone on that. We've got about 6 legends in this tournament who feel the same way.
So yeah, I feel like it's pretty tough. And of course it's a lot about time expenditure, but I mean, still in online, I mean, 5 or 4 minutes, it's quite a bit of time. So if you're experienced at playing online, you can make a lot of moves in, let's say, the last half minute, right? So
Yeah.
it's really a tricky factor to balance speed and quality of play.
Yeah, that's a tough balance to achieve. And well, I think a lot of us are really glad that at least when it goes into the semis, we've got Blitz before Armageddon. Magnus, just let's go into today's games and maybe you can show us a few critical moments. It was a tough match, as Jan mentioned, but you seemed like you were better in both the first 2 games. But Peter was very resourceful, and this position with Bishop A6 here was something that Jan and Rustam both thought was a really good move. How were you evaluating the position at this point?
No, I think in retrospect, this plan with Bishop B4 was perhaps not so good. I think I should just have gone C5 instead. And let's say Knight F3, then I go Bishop B7. And he will have to take on D6, I think, either here or after castles, and I just have a huge positional advantage. And that's something I realized, but I kind of wanted to cash in immediately, but that ultimately gave him drawing chances. Because, I mean, let's be clear, he's done a lot wrong to get to this position. He's made a number of mistakes, and I mean, he hasn't castled. His pieces are all over the board. It's simply not a good position for him. So perhaps Bishop B4 was a case of cashing in prematurely. I guess I could have played better later on, but it felt like he had drawing chances.
Right, and then there's actually no particular moment where it was very clear how you could convert the point in this game. Did you feel at any moment that you missed a big moment in game 1 at all, or did you always feel that White had resources?
No, I feel like this is the moment.
Okay.
So I'm sure like I had objectively very good winning chances after, but then like he had chances, he has something to aim for. Whereas I feel like if I just continued it positionally instead, he would have had a torrid time.
Right.
So I'm sure it's better to ask the computer if you want concrete winning chances than I had than me, because I really don't know.
All right, fair enough. And in game 2, you were also pushing in the end game. Did you feel that you had real chances there, or did you think the position was objectively equal and you were just trying whatever you could, or did you actually believe in your position at that point?
No, I thought
here?
After on move 23 ED5, at this point I thought I've sort of gotten everything here. The pawn to H5, he has no counterplay, I have control over the E file. I thought I was just gonna win the game pretty automatically. Then he managed to set up a defense, and I still had a huge advantage, but I just couldn't find the way. And then later on, when I got this Bishop E7 move on move, I think 36 or something, I think that's something that he missed. But unfortunately, this Queen E5 move was interesting. And then if I do take on C5, yes, Bishop F5, and there's all sorts of counterplay. So I just didn't particularly fancy it, so I just went for opposite color bishops. But yeah, it turned out that was just a draw.
All right, fair enough. And then let's go to game four. Game four, after being up in at least having feeling that you've got the chances in these two games and Peter being resourceful, finally game four worked out. Where do you think it went all wrong for Peter in this game?
I think he misevaluated something in the early middle game, because I thought at the moment we have on the board here, I already thought I was definitely pushing, whereas after the opening, the position after HG, I mean, there is no way White is better. I think realistically he is the one who is slightly better. I definitely messed up something. So yeah, as I said, I think he messed up later on, and I'm sure we could have played better, but even in the end game the position was a bit unpleasant for him, and eventually I ground him down. I will just mention a moment at the very end. At the very end of the game, after Bishop D6, because I don't know if you saw on the cam, but he sort of threw his hands up in the air and we exchanged a smile, because I don't know exactly which one he thought I was going to play, whether it was Rook G7 followed by E7 and Rook G8 mate, or simply
That's pretty.
Or simply just E7 immediately and then Rook A8, which would have won on the spot. So I think it was probably this one, which a grandmaster with 10 minutes on the clock should definitely spot. But at this point, I thought Rook F7 is resigns on the spot, so who cares? But that was a little bit sloppy.
Yeah, well, finding one way to a win is usually enough on the board, no?
Yeah, it just wasn't very pretty.
Agreed. All right, but 7 out of 7 wins. Feeling good about not just the score, but also the quality of play here?
Yeah, I think it's been a bit up and down. As I said today, I would have loved to convert one of the earlier chances, but I was in general in control. So it's been decent for sure, and the score obviously is pretty good.
Not bad at all. How important is winning the qualifying stage, or is it just about the semifinals, or your competitive side is making you want to win in this stage as well, or just your?
Well, obviously the match tomorrow is going to be huge in that respect.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to get the 1 seed. So I'm gonna try my hardest to get there.
Are you over the whole football Premier League situation, or is it too soon to talk about it?
Sorry, no, it's okay. There is a new season coming at some point, and it was still fun. But I mean, to some extent, a bummer. But I knew that there wasn't really anything I could have done realistically to win that, considering how things turned out. So, I mean, if it had been close, it would have been more of a bummer. But this way, it was okay.
Magnus, did you really tweet between your first and second game to the winner of the Premier League, congratulating him?
Yeah, why not? There are like half an hour. Typing a tweet takes a few seconds, so that doesn't seem to be an unreasonable way to spend energy.
No, not at all. If you can go shopping between games, this is one of the easier things to do.
Yeah.
All right, because we know that you, even though you didn't win the Premier League, but clearly your predictions and you've got a good sense of what to do and who's going to make it big. Want to ask you your predictions for the top 4 of the semifinalists for this event?
I guess right now. Oh, there's the standings. I'm gonna do something revolutionary and guess that the top four are right now are gonna make it.
That's your hot take?
But I don't know. If I could knock out Vlad in the last round, that would be a nice little carrot to look forward to. So you never know.
And tomorrow's match against Jan, like you mentioned, that's going to be the big one for the top spot here. Jan's been playing pretty good chess as well here.
Yeah, he's been playing great, and once he in the matches that he hasn't gotten it done, he's won in Armageddon. So he's certainly been impressive, and he was a lot improved in the last tournament, the Chessable Masters, compared to his first one. He's definitely very strong right now. He plays quickly, he plays with confidence, and he makes it difficult for you.
I couldn't agree more with that. We're looking forward to that match. You mentioned that last round against Vlad is something that you're looking forward to as well. Anything to do with you perhaps wanting a certain Anish Giri to qualify?
No, we're not friends anymore, so I don't want that.
All right. Well, okay. Thanks for joining us, Magnus, and good luck for tomorrow. Yes, get some rest. See you soon.
Thank you.